Welcome to the Paths of Ascension YouTube channel. Hi there. In this video, I'm gonna break down, in great detail, the 12 dimensions that make up our wonderful universe. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. There are many amazing, informative and captivating content currently in production. You really don't want to miss out. Make sure you subscribe, and also hit the bell button in the corner, so you're alerted as soon as new content is uploaded. So, sit back and enjoy the show. My story begins by consciously mapping out our universe into 12 dimensions. The universe blends two extremely polar opposite concepts of existence and non-existence so that developing beings may understand who they are and where they are going, however never quite discover any form of finite end. An infinite array of life can be expressed within each of these dimensions. The higher in dimensional nature you progress, the more purity, as to the original nature of your being that you will achieve. In order to understand the meaning of life, we have to understand how the universe is ascended through. The universe can be called a creator school, for our individualized consciousness is learning how to be a creator within the 12-dimensional cycle. Every dimension can be likened to the grades within schools from years 1 to 12. In order to pass a grade, we must learn the relevant lessons within our dimension to effectively ascend. For every ascension we experience, we move up through the dimensional evolvement cycle. We enter into the first dimension as pure energy, and we exit out of the 11th dimension into the 12th dimension as unconditional love. Life begins by entering the first dimension, which is a very rudimentary existence that serves as the energetic building blocks for all higher forms of consciousness. A first-dimensional existence is generally in the form of a mineral or rock, and is completely unaware that it is indeed alive. Very little is accomplished in the first dimension, other than purely existing within the present. After a very long period of time, a first-dimensional existence will undergo what is called a dimensional evolvement, or ascension, in order to advance to exist within the next dimension. This evolvement marks the very first ascension that an individualized consciousness attains within a complete universal cycle. The need to come into life sparks the first ascension, and this is coordinated with the naturally shifting ascension energies of the planet that it exists upon. When a planet ascends its body, everything there is rebirthed into a new state of existence. This new state of existence is known as the second dimension. Our souls have experienced the simplicity of plant life, been as passive or as aggressive as any of the members of the animal kingdom, and found ourselves completely submersed in the art of nature. Second dimensional existence comes forth in the form of plants, animals, insects, and everything that is considered part of wildlife or nature. Basic processes and functions are now available where movement sets the stage for a definable life. The soul will now reincarnate as many species of plants, animals, and insects, and gradually start increasing its consciousness, one life at a time. The second dimension also allows for the introduction of male and female energies that first exposes consciousness to the nature of dual forces working with each other. Second dimensional philosophy was touched upon in Buddhism, where the belief that the human soul also entailed multiple lifetimes throughout the plant and animal kingdoms before incarnating into a human body. Living things therefore deserve respect, for they are also in the process of learning to be alive. You should never kill living things such as trees or wild animals, or hurt nature in any way, because we were once in their very same position. This teaching is also a fundamental law for unconditional love. We are the earth we live on. Human beings currently exist within the third dimension, where our consciousness is now aware that we are in fact alive. This momentum of self-awareness moves our focus out of the collective unconscious, and more deeply into the conscious mind. Psychological patterns often spur a construct where physical, spiritual, and egotistical needs graph a new behavioral complex. This new behavioral complex allows for the comprehension of much more profound spiritual concepts. However, this newfound analytical function has a tendency to completely ignore what it cannot physically grasp. The realization that there exists an ethereal world, with beings who have much greater influence and power, is often what initiates spiritual growth. However, so many disharmonies ensue from conflicting psychological behaviors, that spiritual growth is often brought to a complete standstill, in favor of physical gratification. Nevertheless, the spiritual world still persists. The third dimension is the first time consciousness is not only made aware of the duality, but also heavily influenced into aligning with one or the other side. The third dimension often establishes the bedrock for major spiritual upheavals due to its spiritual immaturity. This state no longer represents a perfect symbiotic relationship with Mother Earth, and is not self-realized enough to embrace oneness as a whole. So conscious spiritual development often enters into an ethereal war. Beings of the light and dark constantly influence souls to polarize, and are often only ever embraced because of their heavy involvement in the physical world. Very few people truly embrace the notions of spirituality or reincarnation, let alone whole sequences of lives in non-human forms. If perception and understanding is limited to a singular life, then the continuation of the soul is not understood, and dimensional evolvements become meaningless. Nothing substantial can ever truly be accomplished if you still believe nothing exists beyond that of a singular life. The fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is actually the counterpart to the third dimension. I'll try to explain. The dimensions are not clean-cut, as most people think they are. They actually bleed into each other. The third and fourth dimensions can be seen as polar opposites of the same dimensional construct, as per the universal law of duality. Third dimension is the physical plane. Fourth dimension is the non-physical plane. Our social conditioning has caused us over time to believe the fourth dimension is separate from us, and we are only these physical beings in a physical world. Well, that's not true. We are, in fact, multidimensional beings. As you stand here now, you function in both the third and fourth dimensions every second of every day of your life. For example, scientists have proven your brain has the ability to go back in time. They have proven your brain fires the electrical instructions to your muscles, your arm for example, to perform a particular task before you consciously give the instruction. You consciously instruct your body parts at the speed of light. However, your brain is one step ahead of you. Your brain operates faster than the speed of light, which is going back in time. It does this through the fourth dimension. Your subconscious mind sits in the fourth dimension. Scientists have proven that your thoughts are not actually in your head. Your thoughts are in the fourth dimension. When you dream at night, your consciousness is in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is an everyday part of you. You are just not consciously aware of it, and most people don't realize that in our purest human form, we can see, talk, and live with beings in the fourth dimension as an everyday way of life. Those of us that have taken the time to cleanse our pineal glands and chakras have opened our third eyes, and we can commune with beings the majority of people are oblivious to. If the third dimension represents a ratio of 80-20 in relation to physicality to spirituality, the fourth dimension represents a ratio of 20-80 in relation to physicality to spirituality. What changes is the importance we place over certain aspects of our lives, which in turn changes our rational masculine thought to that of divine femininity, by feeling our way through the universe. Thanks for watching Part 1 of The Truth About Our 12-Dimensional Universe. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And also hit the bell button in the corner, so you are alerted as soon as new content is uploaded. The next step is to now watch part 2 of the truth about our 12-dimensional universe to get the rest of this story. See you soon. Love and light, beautiful soul.